those kids to the nth degree. And we made such wonderful progress, and it was such a rewarding job. But then when my husband actually opened his office, we moved away from the city, and I could no longer be with those people. So I ended up becoming his office manager, which was a very interesting thing. I mean, we've been married 58 years now, and we worked together for 55 of the 58 years, which I think is an unusual thing for two people.
Wow, yes.
And we not only work together, but we play together, we travel together. We've had a wonderful experience of life, and it's been, I would say 58 years of a loving relationship, and I'm very fortunate to have had that. And then when our son joined the practice, it was a whole new dynamic, because all of a sudden I'm taking instruction from my son. When he would ask me to do something, I would sometimes look at him like, huh? But that also has worked out extremely well, and we work very well together, and it's been a very rewarding experience. So I'm still doing some of the management from home, but I had to hire 4 different people to fill my position in the office.
Well, if you've been doing it for so long, you have it down to a T for just you. But once you go away, there needs to be a little bit more hands.
Yes, it required, I have a billing manager, an assistant administrator, an office manager, a surgical booker. So, we've had to divide it up, but it was very important that we did that, because it was time. And I feel like it's time now that I'm stepping back more and more. And hopefully I'll be able to finish book 4 before before you know it.
It's wonderful to hear. Not many people can work with their husband as long as you have, nor then work for their child.
Yeah, it's a very interesting dynamic. It does require, I'll share one very funny story, which is Leon and I had an argument, which is normal for a married couple. And I was not speaking to him, but we went into the office and I was speaking to him as normal, because that was the office. We went back into the house, because it was a home office combination at that time. And I wasn't speaking to him again. And he walked in, he said, "What the heck is going on? You were just talking to me." I said, "That was in the office." And, we laughed about it later, and we still laugh about it to this day, because it's so typical of the way we handled life. We just kind of went with it. And we never felt that we had to be something we weren't.
That's amazing. That is amazing to hear. And that is a funny story. Where can people find your books?
Well, my book is on Amazon. It's also sold by Durant's, and they can go to my website, which is zenalivingston.com, and there's an automatic link to purchase the book.
Yeah, you have a very good, it's relatable. It's, of course, it's a story, but like I said before, it's relatable to what people are going through, male or female, through this time.
Yes, I think it is a very relatable book. I mean, I think that no matter who we are, there are people there who have the wrong emphasis on life. The material things become too important. And there's so much more in life that's important. It's how we treat each other, how we relate to each other. These things are much more important than the material things. And, I've always felt that, in the office, for instance, we have a very diverse ethnic background among our staff and our doctors. And it has added to a wonderful dimension. And it's just treating people the way they should be treated. And that's the most important thing in life.
Yep. Treat those how you want to be treated.
We all have to treat each other with respect. That's the key.
Now, do you think your next book, the ideas for that would kind of follow along the same type of path?
Well, actually, the next book, I was kind of going through what my life was like. And I started writing about what I recall as my life. And it's not a memoir, it's going to be a novel because I'm very comfortable in that genre. But it's really what I've experienced through my 77 years. And I think it's going to be a very interesting read.
That does sound like an interesting read, especially for someone that's had this creative ability kind of out of nowhere that kind of spurs to write these books. And one being and you said The Money God was sold out.
It's sold out, yes. So there are a few copies available on Amazon, like secondhand copies and that kind of thing, but there's no more copies available otherwise.
That's amazing. That's amazing for a first book to sell out. That's awesome.
It was awesome. It was a wonderful experience. Of course, I made 12 pounds. It was published in Cambridge, England. And it was, when you go out of the country, you have no control. And the publisher actually had it translated into multiple languages in Europe. And we were in Curacao once, and this man came running over to me and said, "I just finished reading your book. It was wonderful." And I looked at him and I said, "Really?" And he told me, it had been translated into Dutch and it was sold in the Netherlands. And I'm saying to myself, that's very interesting. That, I did not receive any of the royalties. That's why I didn't go back to that publisher. It seemed fair. And you can't fight it. There's nothing you can do because they have control over you if you're out of the country.
Right. And I thought that wasn't a different feeling. Someone coming to you and telling you that who you did not know would not have crossed paths with again. That shows you they enjoyed your read.
It was a wonderful experience. It kind of made my day because I was, he recognized me from the book cover. Mm-hmm. And it was exciting to actually know a stranger who read my work and enjoyed it. It's one thing when your friends come and tell you, but it's another thing when it's a stranger.
Mm-hmm. Because then it's a little bit more authentic. Not that your friends aren't, but it's just that extra bit more authentic when it's a complete stranger.
Absolutely. It was very thrilling. It was a nice experience. Yeah.
That is great to hear. Well, everyone can check out your books on Amazon and as well as visiting your site. Are you also social media, Facebook, and all the common platforms?
I have a Facebook account, yes, but I'm not very good at posting. In fact, I really don't even know how to post. Someone else has to post for me. It's not something I'm not into social media so much. I'm not a person who shares, what I had for dinner and what I'm doing today. It's just not. I don't think it's of any interest to anyone else in the whole wide world. So why would you bother posting it?
All right. So then we'll stick to Amazon and your website.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it.
Thank you, Zena, for chatting in with me on your new book, Now You Have It. Everyone should reach out to read it via searching on Amazon or even on your website to purchase and check it out.
Okay, that would be great. It's ZenaLivingston.com. And, anyone who wants to email me, they can email me at Zena@ZenaLivingston.com.
So if you want a new novel to read, check out Zena Livingston's new book, Now You Have It, or maybe her former books. One of them is sold out, The Money God, and she has The Psychic Skank. So check her out on Amazon or on her website, Zena Livingston. I'm your host, Rockshana. Today's guest was author Zena Livingston. Be sure to tune in each week for a new episode. And remember, everything and anything goes. The sky is the limit.
Music for the Things of That Nature podcast is an original track brought to you by Jared Sacramento called dosage.